Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a wonderful day. To start things off, you're going to notice a trend in this video. Where is the text? There we go. In a major initiative that will test real-world applications on blockchain technology, the International Chamber of Commerce, or the ICC, the world's largest business organization, is launching a carbon credit trading network using technology built on Ethereum. The ICC says it will use Air Carbon, a Singapore-based commodities exchange developed for trading and distributing carbon credits, to power a carbon credit trading network for the airline industry, which accounts to around 2.5% of emissions worldwide. The Ethereum-powered exchange aims to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide emissions in order to slow down climate change by issuing carbon credit certificates that grant organizations permission to emit a specific amount of carbon dioxide. Businesses that may need to pollute more may buy credits from companies that won't be using them. By attaining a financial cost to carbon emissions, the credit system incentivizes users to reduce their carbon footprint. The Center for Biological Diversity has said, and I do quote, "If commercial aviation were considered a country, it would rank 7th after Germany in terms of carbon emissions. We found that by 2050, aircraft emissions are projected to more than triple. Unchecked between 2016 and 2015, global aviation will generate an estimated 43 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions," without finishing the rest of the quote. I'm going to end that there. Like I said, you're going to see a trend. Here's the actual thing right here from the ICC. It says ICC signs partnership at COP25 to support a carbon neutral aviation industry. And tying directly into the next topic, John Whalen, head of digital investment banking at Banco Santander, one of the world's largest financial institutions, confirms that the bank has carried out an early redemption of its Ethereum blockchain-enabled bond that was issued in September of this year. He said, "This unequivocally proves that a debt security can be managed through its full lifecycle on a blockchain, a public one in this case." On the 12th of September, Santander confirmed the issuance of a $20 million bond directly on the Ethereum blockchain. According to the bank, it became the world's first bond to be managed completely on a distributed ledger technology platform. Santander used ERC20 compliant tokens to represent the bond, which was then settled with another type of Ethereum-based token kept in a separate account. Santander reportedly held the cryptographic keys throughout the transition. Following the confirmation of the purchase order, the funds were sent to the buyer via the Ethereum network. The buyer, one of Santander's subsidiaries, acquired a bond at the market rate. They said the $20 million bond opens the door to new disruptive technology that can make issuing bonds faster, more efficient, and simpler. Not sure if a lot of you are getting the trend thus far. Next up, footwear giant Nike patented shoes that are tokenized as a non-fungible token on the Ethereum blockchain. It'll be known as CryptoKicks. The patent, dated the 10th of December, describes a digital asset for footwear and ways to use it. One implementation of the technology described in the documentation is an ERC721 or ERC1155 token used to authenticate and transact a physical shoe. The token would be unlocked with the purchase of a corresponding physical shoe by linking a 10-digit shoe identification code with the owner identification code. The system apparently aims to provide a way to ensure the authenticity of goods. As described in the patent, they said, prospective and current owners may buy and sell digital assets through one or more blockchain ledgers operating on the decentralized computing system. By way of example, and not limitation, a user may buy a new pair of highly sought-after sneakers from a verified vendor who may provide authenticated provenance records for the sneakers. After receiving the shoe box containing the purchased sneakers, the user scans the box UPC with a barcode scan featured in the sneakers app operating on the user's smartphone. Did you get all that? I didn't. Interestingly, Nike also suggests that token creation may be linked to shoe sales, which would also allow for the verification of the scarcity of the shoes in circulation. For those of you who have never collected a shoe, bought a shoe, I mean, you're probably all wearing shoes, but as far as like in this in this realm or this world where people collect shoes and collect sneakers. It's massive. It's huge. This isn't something to be taken lightly. I've noticed a lot of people skim over things like this. We had information about a month and a half ago, from the people from Nike that apparently they were working on creating something where they would be able to digitize shoes in some sort of way. I assume the secondary part of this is probably going to be them trying to launch a type of digital sneaker collection type thing, which can also become very big. Once again, this is also assuming that the world that we've been told is going to take place is actually going to take place, where everything becomes digitized, and things that are digitized can also then have value. There was also something in here that I decided not to have in the video. There was another game that's built on top of Ethereum, and I think they had like an all-time record. Someone just sold like a digital card. I think it was like for 215 Ethereum or something nonsensical like that. There's a very huge market in digital goods, and this is going to pop up a lot more as time goes on. So I don't want to say don't sleep on it. That's not like me telling you to like go buy as many digital things as you possibly can, but we are definitely entering a world where digital things have value. And especially when they're like the NFT tokens, the non-fungible tokens, where pretty much they're distinguishable from other tokens. Anyway, don't know if you got the connection thus far. They're all using Ethereum. No matter where I look, multiple companies, and it's not even multiple at this point. There are actually hundreds of companies who are either using Ethereum or planning to use Ethereum. This is why a lot of times when I say, this is how I look at life, I make sure to say, keep your eyes on the prize. I notice a lot of people tell me about coins that I should be looking at, or coins who so and so and so, or they may even have a partnership or two. And it still doesn't move my eyes from the fact that over the course of a month, 30 days, we may talk about Ethereum about anywhere from 18 to 25 times, and every single time that we do, it's always about a new company, organization, bank, institution, or country who's building on top of Ethereum. So while other coins, yes, may have a partnership with this, and they may be tracking cucumbers with that, or they may be so and so and so, Ethereum's track record as far as what's been going on, and this is why I told people before in many other videos, maybe not so much this year because whatever the case might be, maybe I got tired of saying it. Look up the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. It's a consortium of hundreds of different companies. Hold on. There we go. Someone's trying to call me and I have to flip the phone upside down. It's a consortium of hundreds of different companies who are, like I said, who are using Ethereum actively. And when you get news, like when you talk about, so let's even backtrack a little tiny bit and I'll leave this entire topic alone. When you want to talk about the actual usage of something by a major company, people got upset at me sometime during the summer, as people always do. Please go for it. I don't care if you hate me or not. I honestly don't care. They were upset because some other coin that you've never heard of partnered with some other company you've also never heard of to be able to track, was it like animal feed or something like that? And they were like, this company does billions of dollars per year. And I was like, yeah, but that's just one partnership. Like Ethereum has hundreds. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll see at the end of the finish line. We'll see exactly who was correct, or even just more so who like looked at the actual news. The fact that Nike is using Ethereum should give you a pretty obvious idea of where things are going. Where's the other one? The world's largest business organization has also partnered with Ethereum. It's a bit too obvious at this point. I think we're seeing an acceleration of this news. Like I said before, we would hear about it every now and again. It would pop up. We'd maybe have about 2 stories in one day. We had something, I think that the major ones thus far have been like Russia using Ethereum. I think Brazil is planning on writing their laws on top of Ethereum, and a couple of other major companies. I think, oh gosh, what were the other ones? Anyway, where was I? I completely keep looking out the window as if something's going to be there. The entire point being, oh, there we go. I think we're getting an acceleration of this news because we are, or have been, or I don't know how to even phrase that. We just had the latest Ethereum hard fork, which was a success. Apparently nothing detrimental has happened to the network and everyone has transferred over. And the second part is that we are super close to the first iteration of Ethereum 2.0, which is going to allow it to have 3,000, so they say, transactions per second. If Ethereum is getting this much energy, this much attention with maximum 15 transactions per second, one can only assume that maybe big things are on the way for Ethereum. Think about that. Imagine being just about 3 times faster than Bitcoin, and you have hundreds of companies who are trying to build their stuff on top of you. Now imagine what happens when you have 3,000 transactions per second. It's kind of a bit of a no-brainer. No, I was going to make a video where I showed all the major companies using it. I mean, just really Google it. The Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. This is one of the main core focuses as to why I remain bullish on Ethereum. I may have some down days with Ethereum, especially when I hear too much like hate against it, or like if I'm listening to a podcast, which is usually Bitcoin centric, and they throw dirt on Ethereum or they talk mess about this, so and so and so. You still can't deny that they have a very healthy amount of partnerships, which are actual partnerships. Looking at a certain coin who has had no partnerships, even though they keep saying they've had partnerships. But here's the actual patent right here. I'm not going to read through the entire thing. Yada, yada, Nike, numbers, names. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, JPMorgan Chase's, there we go, blockchain payment platform looks to be expanding to Japan, and possibly soon. The US banking multinational is eyeing a launch for its Interbank Information Network, or the IIN, in the East Asian nation, possibly in January. This was said on Monday, and it was reported in Bloomberg. Built on Quorum, a permissioned blockchain based on Ethereum, and developed by JPMorgan, IIN is designed to enable member banks to exchange information in real time, allowing them to verify a payment has been approved. This, the bank says, helps reduce friction in international payments and ultimately leads to faster processing times. The system is also a way of reducing risk of money laundering, which is why over 80 Japanese banks have expressed interest in joining in IIN. Japan has been under pressure to up its anti-money laundering game since the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force's numerous and serious deficiencies in 2014. IN's ability to reduce delays and in the payment process would allow the member banks to quickly collaborate with law enforcement in suspected cases of money laundering, and official at something bank said. Yet again, the word Ethereum pops up. JPMorgan, for those of you who don't know, this hasn't been in the news in quite a while. JPMorgan, before Libra was announced, had announced that they were going to launch their own blockchain token coin. I think it was going to be called JPMorgan coin. Not even joking. Along the way, they've apparently scooped up a number of other banks. It says as of mid-November, there were approximately 365 banks signed up for the initiative from other parts of the world, according to JPMorgan Chase's website. A lot of these things, for those of you who don't know, these may be small banks, these may be large banks, they may be insignificant banks as well. It may be banks who JPMorgan also owns and or told at some point if they own a large portion of that bank, you also have to start using this network as well. A lot of people, I don't know how to really even put this. A lot of people were afraid that JPMorgan was going to take over the new world networking, banking, payment system. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there will be a lot of friction amongst them and other banks. Like I said before, I don't think anyone willingly would want to use a coin called JPMorgan coin, but it appears that they're also just trying to do something on top of the Ethereum blockchain, or Quorum based on Ethereum, to be able to verify transactions and or send messages back and forth between each other. But the point being, this clearly is moving forward. I assume next year, we're not that far away. We'll definitely hear a bit more from the people from JPMorgan as to exactly what this is going to entail. There's a lot there. Next year is expected to have a lot of announcements as far as like, we made this, I made that, look at mine, look at yours, mine is better, yada, 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 as far as like blockchain payments, enterprise this and so and so and so. But life goes on. Here's the actual article right here from jpmorgan.com. It says largest number of banks to join live application of blockchain technology. Alrighty, let's move on. Next up, German fintech banking provider Solaris Bank announced the launch of a new custodial platform for digital assets. As with the company's digital banking products, the platform is API accessible and integrates into its partner's own websites and apps. The new platform is run as a subsidiary of Solaris Bank called Solaris Digital Assets GmbH. However, the custodial solution integrates fully with the rest of the Solaris Bank digital banking suite. Solaris Bank is fully licensed and regulated in the German market, and the API accessible nature of its platform means that partner companies can benefit from when it's creating their own solutions. Essentially, partners can concentrate on building web and app-based front ends which connect to the Solaris API behind the scenes. Thereby, they can remain secure and compliant without having to design, build, and license their own custodial services. Of course, the eternal balancing act for digital asset custodians is security, social addresses, private keys. So it's basically about the Solaris Bank has received what they needed to be able to become a custodial for digital assets. This ties, and I want to say directly, but I'll say loosely at this point, into the news that we had a couple of weeks ago that apparently there's something that is trying to pass somewhere in Parliament within Germany to allow banks to be able to hold, buy, sell, trade, and custody cryptocurrencies. I assume some have jumped forward at the head of the line more than or quickly than others. Maybe simply they just decided to announce theirs when everyone else has not decided theirs. That information was kind of, it was very big. And I knew that it would have no real impact on the cryptocurrency market because not much seems to do so this time and day. But the fact that once again, we have an entire country who's probably going to allow the entire country of banks once again to be able to buy, sell, hold, trade, and custody cryptocurrencies is major. Many other banks around the country, around the world, not even in the country, around the world right now either don't like cryptocurrencies, won't touch cryptocurrencies, will close your account for cryptocurrencies. And usually, I think we had news of a bank in Canada before that had said that they would allow the custodying of cryptocurrencies. I think we had information in 2018 that Bank of America was looking into custodying cryptocurrencies. As of right now, no major bank, none of them on the planet, can do anything with cryptocurrencies. So the fact that once again, banks within Germany are probably, so saith the news, going to be allowed to do so is incredibly major. And I assume that Solaris Bank is probably trying to become the custody service or one of the major custody services for the entire country so that when banks are officially allowed to do this and they're looking for a custodian, Solaris Bank can go, we got your back. We got you right here. Anyway, here's the actual blog post right here. It says Solaris digital assets driving digital asset adoption. Absolutely insane. Like there's so much movement behind the scenes. I hope everyone always appreciates just how much infrastructure has been built this year. It's been one of the craziest years in the last like 5, 6, 7 years that I've actually been into crypto. It's unimaginable that we have come so far. And not even that the market isn't reacting. That part I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. I mean, things will happen in time, but it's more like the inside looking out. I think that makes a bit more sense. Being inside the cryptocurrency space and realizing that there's so many people out there who simply don't know what's going on. Like whenever I meet friends of friends or I go somewhere and I hang out with someone else new, and I explain to them or try to explain to them what's happening in the cryptocurrency space, they don't care. So many people just simply don't actually care, but the only time that they will care is when prices have skyrocketed and they can no longer obtain the actual assets that we're talking about here basically on a daily basis. A lot has happened this year. A lot has taken place. A lot has formed. A lot has been built. A lot of crypto has been accumulated under no, that doesn't make any sense. People have been buying over the counter. That's the quickest way of kind of saying it. In massive amounts. We constantly have numbers of how much crypto is actually being accumulated. And I think in time, we will look back at these days of prices not moving, and I think we'll appreciate them a lot more because we'll realize that those were the moments that we had to be able to accumulate more while other people simply just weren't paying attention because the news that we're getting is nonstop. And even more if you think about it this way, even if Nike, JPMorgan, ICC, yada, 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 all these people aren't using the Ether token explicitly to send value back and forth. The fact that it's even being issued on top of the blockchain and is being the fees are being paid in Ether, it's still very significant that they've chosen to use these things, that they've chosen to use these platforms and use the blockchains that we know and we have, and I love it every single day. Like the news always gets me really energized. People were asking before why I wake up with so much energy. Is because, like, look at the space, look how much that we've grown, look how much that we have. So many people continue to focus on the prices, and it's like we are an actual force to be reckoned with. We have major companies partnering with us every single day. There's also a huge initiative right now with something called DeFi, decentralized finance, and it's absolutely major what's happening on the Ethereum network. The people who are trying to build these decentralized financial platforms, and like even like major companies right now who are normally under like centralized rule, they're also realizing that they have to do something like this so that their stuff is immutable and that no one else can shut down just one computer. The same exact thing is also happening on Bitcoin. There's so many other side chains that are being built and so many companies who are being engulfed into this entire thing to also start using these projects and to start building more on Bitcoin and to start building more. It's happening right in front of our eyes. We read the news every single day. We have it. So if nothing else, we know that progress is being made. But yeah, let us move on. And to finish things off, controversial cryptocurrency payment processor BitPay has announced it is adding 3 stablecoins to its list of supported tokens. In a press release on the 10th of December, BitPay confirmed businesses could now accept payment in USD coin, Gemini dollar, and the Paxos standard token. All are pegged to the US dollar. The rollout brings the total number of available cryptocurrencies to 6, alongside Bitcoin, Bcash, and Ether. Notably absent is Tether, the stablecoin with by far the biggest trading volume. They said accepting or paying with stablecoins opens up new possibilities for business payments that require the stability of the dollar but the security and efficiency of blockchain payments. They said businesses can invoice international clients without the need for costly, complicated cross-border wire transfers. Customers can send and receive payments using fast, efficient, and volatility-free dollar-pegged stable coins, end quote. I think it's BitPay, and there are 3 bits. They pretty much process cryptocurrency payments as the middleman, as governments want to have a person in the middle of the transaction. And I'm pretty sure that they're one of the larger ones out there, if I'm not mistaken. The fact that they've only added 3 stablecoins and they haven't added Tether, I still think that companies behind the scenes are trying to figure out a way to get away from Tether because Tether. But yeah, I mean, there's also like a lawsuit against them. I think multiple lawsuits against them. It's a lot going on. Anyway, BitPay has added support for 3 more stablecoins, which is in itself a little, I don't want to use the word weird. What's happening is that we're seeing a huge uptick in the actual usage of stablecoins, and this ties into what I was saying before. I thought that we'd have a lot more where we kind of are right now, adoption for stablecoins, as far as companies and institutions not wanting, even banks, not wanting to create their own stablecoins, but simply just using something else that was already out there. And this is why I think we saw a major push at the beginning of this year for Paxos and USD coin. And then the other companies talking about that they also loved Tether and Gemini dollar just being Gemini dollar. Anyway, here's the actual article for it right here. It says BitPay launches worldwide stablecoin payments. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Bare Bones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, and Cryptopolis, Nicholas, One One Peace, One Love, Damian, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Be Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangia, Lavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test, Every Day, and Kyle Skips, Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Body Big Butt Face, Semi But Ucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, and Shoop Shoop Diddy Wop, Hummer Hummer Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. The market is kind of in red. It's reddish. It's a light red. Bitcoin is down by just under 1% point. Currently sitting at 7,169. I am well assuming at this point, as we move closer to the weekend, that Bitcoin is probably going to drop below 7,000 US dollars. It seems this way. The articles on the interwebs keep saying that Bitcoin is looking not weak. Weak is not the word. It looks like it's going to try to test lows once again. Sure, go for it. Fall all you want. The articles I saw talking about that Bitcoin was going to hit 2,200, and that other guy, who's that guy who's obsessed with gold, and every time that Bitcoin like falls 0.5%, this guy like throws a party. He said on his graphs that Bitcoin is going down to 1,000, but part of the problem is that he's been graphing out prices of Bitcoin since around 2013, 2014, and they've always been incorrect, and they always show Bitcoin going to zero. I think his name is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel. He's one of the main people who has continuously said that he saw Bitcoin going to zero. Not $500, not 100. He said an actual zero. Even just logically speaking, even if no one else on this planet, except for the people listening to and watching this video right now, saw Bitcoin going to 1 cent, Bitcoin's price would at least shoot back up to around $35. There's no chance on this earth that Bitcoin is going anywhere near zero. The point being, Tezos is up, is actually up 8 cents more than it was yesterday. The hype train is very strong with this one. It is currently in the top 11. It is $0.02 billion away. What is that? But $200 million away from market cap wise, from passing by Lumens, which I think it's going to do sometime today. That's a straight shot up. What else? Cosmos is up. Synthetics with 192,000 is also up. Yeah. All right. Sorry if I screamed in anybody's ear. I heard the scream in the room as I did it. I hope you all enjoyed. It's remember, maybe not. We had a lot of price projections a while ago. As far as Ethereum, they weren't like price predictions. They were more like, there were a lot of analysts who were looking at if the continued use of Ethereum continued, where exactly Ethereum's price was going to be. And the idea was for a while that Ethereum would continue to be used on the ICO platform, which have kind of completely fallen off because governments don't like ICOs. It will be used on the STOs. And then we have IEOs, which are initial exchange offerings, but they're usually coming from Binance, typically. The other thing that's expected to propel Ethereum forward is the entire DeFi space, or even just other companies and corporations building and using Ethereum in some sort of way, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. I guess we'll see the full extent of what this will be. What is that? 12, 14, 18, wait, say 18, 17, 20, 19. Ooh, my math is getting bad. 22 days. 22 days, I think that's when the second iteration of, or the beginning of Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to start. I think it's supposed to be the 3rd of January. Block rate pending. It'll be exciting either way. We'll see exactly what the implications of Ethereum moving to 3,000 transactions per second, so they say, will be. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.